Hey everyone, welcome back to Grumpy Monkey Technical Trading. My name is Michael. We have a special show for you today. We are going to be doing a show called the BananaRama Rally, which I've been super excited about. Jim Cramer does a show, Mad Money, and on that show they do a lightning round where they take a bunch of stocks that have been requested. People have called in and asked Jim Cramer's opinion, and he's given a little snippet of that opinion. I'd like to do the same thing, but for the technical analysis part. So take all those lightning round stocks and do a brief technical analysis to see whether that lines up with what Cramer was talking about or not. So I'm really excited about this. I have a lot of appreciation for the Mad Money show. I watch it all the time. So this is a real treat for me, and I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned. Enterprise Products Partners, EPD. Cramer says overdone on the downside. He doesn't have a strong endorsement, but he likes the stock. Well, I don't really know what there is to like about this stock because it is plummeted. In fact, it hasn't really broken out of any channel. It is just downside, downside, downside. You can see a one wave, a two wave, a three wave. I would say that we're trickling still down into this range before it's really a buy opportunity. If that changes, it changes because it's broken out of this channel with some volume. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. So pass for now. Dave & Buster's play. Cramer says he thinks it's a hard industry to make money in, but he likes the company. I love the company. I love going to Dave & Buster's. But let's take a look at the stock. So we have dramatic increase here, still within this channel and heading back towards the support line. I would say this is a safer support line if you're interested in terms of buying it. I think it can go down. We see a retraction in the RSI and the stochastics. That would be, if you like it, that would be my buying opportunity right there. IPC Healthcare, IPCM. Cramer says he's not really sure. I'm not really sure. It looks like it's going to the moon based on this previous week. So your guess is as good as mine on this one. Healthcare is not my forte. Helen of Troy, HELE. Cramer says it's overdone on the downside and is due for a comeback. I say, what? It hasn't even really completed its downside yet to have a comeback. Sure, it had the giant engulfing candle and headed down and now has had a bit of a recovery, but that to me says, hey, we got more downside to go, not we're done. I would at least expect that it's going to hit this resistance line. So if this is a stock to hang on to, you got a buying opportunity, I think, coming up. Mimedex Group, pronounced MDXG. Cramer says it's speculative and he'd rather be in Radius Health. And I would say that sounds like a good call to me because it just broke through a major support line and it's probably going down for a bit. It's a cheap stock with medium volume, but I expect it would come back, touch this line, and then fall again. If it can't get back through this resistance line, it's done for a little while. So yeah, completely agree with Cramer. Look elsewhere. On the flip side of that, MGM. Broken out on the positive side of a resistance line. This is great news. Cramer says he likes MGM, and I can't blame him. I like MGM too. I expect that if you're looking for an entry point, you should be able to catch it as it falls back towards this support line, and that is indicative of what's happening in the stochastics, so that it's going to be due for a reversal in the next couple of weeks, but you may be able to squeeze a couple more pennies out of it if you want the upside. The immediate upside. So a good potential buying point coming down here. Looks good. Aqua America, WTR. Cramer says not bad, but not a lot of upside either. And you can see that in the chart where we have a lightly sloping positive trend with a channel, and you're likely just going to sit here bouncing between the two. So completely agree with Cramer. Not a lot going on there, but you did get a nice jump this week. So hopefully you capitalize on that. Biogen, BIIB. Cramer says he'd rather see you in Celgene. I'd rather see you in anything but this stock. As you can see, it broke this major support line, came back up and touched it, but couldn't get back through and fell back again. That is not a good sign. There is nothing good to see here. Let's move on. VNR, Vanguard National Resources. Cramer says it's too risky. 15% yield is a big warning sign. I look at the chart and I say, yikes, too risky. big gaps down, big plummeting candles, bad industry, declining channel, probably in its third wave with another wave to go in Elliott wave theory. We are not in positive land until you break free of this line on the positive side. Don't think about it. Raytheon Company, RTN, Cramer says they are arming the world and buy. I say that's awesome, and it looks like they're in a positive trend, but do you have to buy now? Because the stochastics say, hey, I have a nice little hook in overbought land and that I'm going to come down for a little bit. So if you love this stock and you are looking for an entry point, I would say something down around here might be more acceptable than what it is currently. Timken, TKR, Cramer says, tough to own that group. Industrials are not the place you want to be, and that is evidenced here as that, I can't really say downtrend without spelling it exactly like this. As you can see, we had this nice downwards channel, which still wasn't good, but it exceeded it and was not able to even get back into it. That is never a positive sign. We do have an oversold RSI, but that's not necessarily a good thing. If you really like the stock, this is at least an affordable price to get into it, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. Taser, T-A-S-R, Cramer says it's terrific long term. He's going with Taser. If you believe that, then this is actually a pretty good time to enter it because it has taken a massive plunge. It is now pressing up against one support line here. We see that it has an oversold stochastics and an RSI creeping down. I would say that if you believe Cramer and you like Taser, now is a good time to get into it. Blackstone, BX. Similarly, Cramer is 100% behind it. And if you look at the chart and you happen to be there last week, then you had a nice buying opportunity as it pushed off against the support line. You may still get another opportunity if it creeps down next week, but if you believe Cramer and you like the stock, now is a reasonable price to get into it. Wells Fargo, WFC, Cramer says he loves it. When we look at the chart, there's not a lot not to like. It's a nice steady upwards trend. I would only get concerned about it if it fell below this support line. With that being said, there's not necessarily a lot of excitement about it because it is just a steady uptrend and it has been doing an uptrend for a while. So if there's a push to continue that uptrend, then great. Otherwise, it may stagnate for a little while. iRobot, IRBT, Cramer says he'd rather see you watch the movie than be in this stock. And really, when you look at it, there's nothing interesting going on. It is just a horizontal trend and has been for a while. If it's going to go positive, it needs to crack through this line. And if it's going to go negative, it's going to crack through this line. And until then, who knows where it's going to go because it's been flatlined for over 2 years. So Petrovaz, PZE, Cramer says, suboptimal Brazil situation, and I say it's a fairly cheap stock with hardly any volume, so meh, why would you be in it anyway if it's a suboptimal situation? Banco Santander, SAN, Cramer says, don't need it. Best thing that happened to this stock is just that they changed the name from STD. Obviously, looking at it, not too interesting, headed down, could break this line, fall further, wouldn't even be interested in it until it goes up, although the volume is nice. Lending Club, LC, Cramer says, not a fan, too many players coming into that segment, and I say, not a fan, too many crappy candles to like this stock, and not really enough data to analyze it, but nothing good here. Automatic data processing, ADP, Cramer says prefer paychecks, 3.5 yield, better shape overall. I say, hey, this stock is in an uptrend and it's headed towards a support line. If it can get through, that's great. So if you do believe in this stock, make sure this line, maybe you can make some money after all. Navigator Holding, NVGS, Cramer says, no, too many competitors. I say, whoa, that's pretty negative, but it does look like it's kind of oversold now, particularly when we get down to the weekly stochastics. So if you're looking for a bit of a bump, maybe you own it already and you're looking to get out, I'd wait a little bit because you may be able to get it out at a better price soon or jump in and get a little bit of a bump there. So not the end of the world. Stryker Corporation, SYK, Cramer likes the mechanic business and thinks this stock is a winner. I think this stock looks nice. It's certainly a great positive trend, but is this the best price that I can get it at? I don't think so. It looks like we're getting a bit overbought here. We may touch this line and then sink back a little bit, I expect. We're also overbought on the stochastic, so I like this for a bit of a retraction, and if you like the stock overall, I'd maybe wait a bit before buying. PNC Financial Group, PNC. Cramer thinks it's fine, thinks interest rates need to go higher for it to improve, and I think it's fine too. It's staying within this channel, it's going up kind of like Wells Fargo. Be concerned if it falls below 95.18 kind of area, but otherwise steady. Seadrill, SDRL. Cramer says sell, I say yep. RR Donnelly, RRD. Cramer likes it. He says they're going to make a comeback after their restructuring is complete. I say if that is true, then we are at a nice support line, and if it is due to come back, now is a good time to buy it, if you believe in it. Karyopharm, KPTI. Cramer says they had problems with their trial and it's going to come back. And I look at the chart and I say, like at that Home Alone expression, that doesn't look any good to me. So Axovant Sciences, AXON. Cramer says too hot too soon, now been cut by 2/3, and he's not that intrigued by it. And when I look at it, I don't see any reason to be intrigued by it either. There isn't a lot of data to do any technical analysis, which is the main thing that we're trying to do here. Enbridge, EN. Cramer says the group is in free fall, stay away. I say, hey, it's in free fall, but it is starting to get way oversold. If you'd picked this stock up here, you probably got a decent buy on it. Nice jump there. I would say that with the RSI creeping into the oversold level, stochastics recovering a little bit, but not a lot, CCI coming back, I would say that we're starting to near the bottom. I could see it trickling back down a little more solidly rather than a hammer candle. But yeah, free fall, but maybe is free fall forever? I don't know. All right, that's the end of our first ever BananaRama rally. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please, if you like the video, and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.